Hello everybody, welcome along to my Bet365 Gold Cup Day preview. The final day of the jump season at least now. Draws to a close tomorrow, headlined by the Bet365 Gold Cup coming up at 3:35, the headline act of the day. And we'll touch on that a little bit later on. Got a couple of tips all around the tracks tomorrow. Plenty of racing coming from Haydock, Ripon. Where else we got? Some other tracks as well that have totally slipped my mind, but we'll touch on them a little bit later on as well. We're going to get stuck into the 150 here at Sandown. It is a novice championship final for novice hurdlers over 2 miles class 2. Getaway trump is a 10 to 3 favourite, Paul Nicholls, Harry Cobden. Benny's Bridge for Fergal O'Brien, Paddy Brennan is second favourite 7 to 1. Joint with Humble Hero for Dan Segura at 7 to 1. Harambe 17 to 2. Scarlet Dragon for Alan King 10 to 1. Cause Troyors 10 to 1 as well. And 14 to 1 bar those. To me, it looks like it's going to be a race between the top 3 in the market. I mean, Getaway Trump won very nicely at Ayr last time. The form I don't think is strong enough from that race, however. He beat Galvin quite easily at Ayr last time out, and Galvin in a hard race at Cheltenham prior to that. The form's not strong enough, and I just don't. I wouldn't be backing him at 10 to 3 at such short odds for him. I just don't think I wouldn't personally be touching him. I think Benny's Bridge has got a good chance. Impressive at Cheltenham a couple of runs ago. Form's held up quite nicely as well, however. £5 out the handicap in the Imperial Cup last time out on soft ground was never really his thing. The quicker ground will help. He's back in the handicap as far as I'm aware as well. I think he's got a good chance. But the one I'm drawn to in particular in my pick for this race is Humble Hero. Off a marker 127 over jumps. He's well treated on his flat form as well. A little bit quirky, can be a bit of a hound sometimes. I think that's best to describe him. He's a bit quirky sometimes, but he's definitely a good horse off his flat form. Good mark of 127. The Skelton's banging winners in left, right and centre all season. And for me, my pick to win the 150. Humble Hero for me, 7 to 1. In from 10s already. My pick to win the first race there. Moving into the second race, 225. The Oaksey House Chase is a great over 2 miles 6. I don't think I'll be having a bet in this one. I'm just going to sit back and watch it, but we can get stuck in and provide my pick for it. It's a competitive race. Black Coulton leads the way for the returning Bryony Frost 10 to 3, Definitely Red 7 to 2, Charbel 9 to 2, Go Conquer 8 to 1, along with Gold Present 8 to 1, Cobra de May 8 to 1, 9 to 1 bigger the rest there. Again, another tight race here. We've got Black Coulton coming in 10 to 3 favourite. I don't really quite understand why he's favourite. He's been beaten by a horse called Blue Flight at Kelso early on this season, who finished, I think, 4th in the Scottish National 2 weeks ago. A big scopy horse of Nigel Twiston Davis's. Beat him quite soundly at Kelso a couple of starts ago. He's had a few sound runs in between his Black Coulton. Bryony Frost back on board is a massive plus. Them two get on very, very well, as does many horses that Bryony Frost rides. She always gets a good partnership out of the majority of her horses. It's got I wouldn't say it's got much. It's got a squeak, I suppose. I mean, looking down the market, definitely red. I think this trip's just too sharp for him. 2 miles 6 around a speed track like Sandown. I don't think will suit him. The ground will be too quick for him as well. I'd happily draw a line through him. Charbel again, I don't think will be suited to this course. I don't think he's not much of a jumper really at all for me. I don't think he'll stay either. I think I could draw a line through him. Go Conquer's an interesting one. I think bottled up at Doncaster prior to being pulled up in the Grand National. Was never really going to stay the 4 miles in the National and got pulled up as expected, but he's a good horse who can get, when he gets into a rhythm, he can be hard to peg back, and he's a horse that will see the trip out well. I think he's won over 3 miles, so the drop back to 2 miles 6 shouldn't be too much of an issue, and I think he's got a great chance here. A case can be made for Gold Present as well, another good horse who's got form with Frodon as well from early on in the season. Took a bit of a crashing fall at Ayr last time out and still in contention a couple of weeks ago. Whether or not he's come out of that fall okay remains to be unknown. We'll find that out tomorrow, I suppose. And I think really he could be probably the main threat to Go Conquer. If I was having a bet in this race, it would be Go Conquer at 8 to 1, and probably Gold Present as well, maybe as well. Moving into the 3 o'clock, again, it's not really much of a betting race for me. The Celebration Chase over the 2 miles, Altior 2 to 9 favourite, Sky Royale 4 to 1, Godzone 28 to 1, 14 to 1 bar there. Obviously, the big absentee is Surname. He won't be running in this race. Paul Nicholls has withdrawn the horse on the fact of the ground's too quick, and you can't blame him for that, really. Surname's not a 2 mile rattling ground, good to firm chaser at all. And I'm sure we'll see the match that we all want to see between Altior and Surname, perhaps in the King George, or maybe even in a potential Tingle Creek in November, maybe, or December, sorry. I mean, looking down this race, it should be on paper an easy win for Altior, but his recent couple of runs haven't been too great in my opinion. I think it was very, very workmanlike at Cheltenham. Did what he had to do, of course, but it was very, very workmanlike. Got flanked coming down to the last. Either side of him was Politolog and also Sco Royal, who reappears here. Sco Royal was actually in front, touching down from the last, but emptied up the hill. And Altior went into his famous overdrive and pulled away comprehensively towards the end, but I do think he'll probably win this race. I think Scowroy was the biggest danger. Scowroy also lots of fast ground, likes Sandown as well. He's got solid form at Sandown as well. He's got a good form here. The main danger I'd expect, again, he'll probably just sit in behind Altior and try and pounce late as he can, because he's a horse that's got a very, very good turn of foot, and I'm pretty sure if he can pounce late, he might have caused a bit of a scare to Altior, but Altior should win this, and it's not a betting race really. If you're betting each way, you're going to expect to come second as well, so I'd avoid that at all costs. And Altior, to sit back and watch him break the record, I suppose. Moving into the big race of the day though, the 3:35, the Bet365 Gold Cup here, over the 3 mile plus chase here. We've got a step back 8-1 favourite, last year's winner. Talk is Cheap for Alan King, 8-1. The Young Master, 17-2. Justice Sting for Harry Fry, 9-1. Paul Nicholls is Gimme a Copper at 10-1. Beware the Bear, the ultimate winner at Cheltenham, 14-1. Rock the Casbah, last year's runner-up, 14-1. Present Man, the Badger Rails Trophy winner, 14-1. The Rev, 14-1. Joe Farrell, 16-1. Ballydyne, 16-1. 20-1 bigger the rest here. You can make a case for a lot of these horses here. Obviously, Step Back deserves to be mentioned, the market leader at the moment. Absolutely pummeled this field last year. Pummeled Rock the Casbah last year. Had a lot of the horses beaten coming down to the railway fences, at least in my opinion. Jumped everything into submission. Jamie Moore got a fantastic rhythm out of him all the way round. Just pinged fence after fence after fence. Absolutely enjoyed himself and ran out a very resolute winner by about 14 lengths, I think it was. Again, the problem in the National was jumping out to the right. It was always going to be a problem. It was a problem, and it got worse as the race went on. He jumped out to his right consistently, and it got worse, as I said, going on that second circuit where he did pull up, just jumping a canal turn. Was well looked after by Nico de Boinville there, and he's been turned out quickly again to try and reappear and win this for the second year running here. I mean, looking down the field, Rock the Casbah ran poorly in the National last time, got brought down. Never seems to be enjoying going around the National course. Got good form in this race, been placed a couple of times in it as well. Had a good season prior to running in the National, and he could run a big price should he come out of that National well enough at 14-1. I mean, the Young Master's a good horse, interesting as well at 17-2. Justice Sting as well, will like the ground, like the course for Harry Fry. A younger horse, Sean Bone, to take the ride here. He could cause the big up. He could definitely be in with a shout at 9-1. Beware the Bear, the ultimate winner. The only thing that would put me off him would probably be the weight. He's going to carry a lot of weight. I think it's top weight he'll be carrying for his ultimate success. Got withdrawn from the Scottish National last time on the fact of the rattling ground, which is, you can't really blame Nick Anderson for that. A lot of trainers did that as well. My 2 picks for this race, I do like the look of Ballydyne at 16-1. I mean, I do think he's got a big pot on him over the extreme distances. Didn't jump great in the Midlands National last time out. He's got back to stamina, and I think he's got a good chance here. It was surprising to see him still in contention at Utoxeter, coming down to the final couple of fences after he jumped like a pig all the way around, really, to be brutally honest. Still managed to wriggle his way into contention before weakening out and being pulled up subsequently. Again, looking down the field, Present Man is another one that I think's got a good chance, but again, there's plenty of competition to get up the front in this race. You look at Step Back, you want to try and go from the front. So Present Man, the Rev can go forward as well. So there's plenty of pace in this race, and I think a horse that can drop in like Ballydyne and pick up the pieces late on, it just might fall into their hands a bit. And I do think Ballydyne at 16-1 can cause a bit of an upset in the Bet365 Gold Cup. Elsewhere, tips elsewhere, I'm going to go into Haydock, the 205 at Haydock, so beloved in the 7 furlong handicap. He's off a very good handicap mark at the moment. David Nolan takes the ride, a horse I've always backed, running some big races last year, like the Sussex Stakes, was very, very highly tried last year for David O'Mara. He's a good horse in his day, talented but quirky, doesn't get his head in front a lot, hasn't won I don't think since 2016, but when he gets his head in front, he's definitely a horse that can win a big pot, and I think he's got a good chance at 12-1. Moving up to Ripon, I like the look of Intersab again for David O'Mara. Been campaigning in Dubai in the winter, didn't really hit too many high notes in Dubai in the winter. Back over at Ripon on quick ground over 6 furlongs. I think he's got a good each way squeak at 16, should run a big race. In the $3.5, I do like Messiah as well for Keith Dalgleish. Finished 6th in the Queen's Cup last time out, Musselburgh. Come off the pace there, didn't get the cleanest of runs. Quite a few horses reappear in that race. Horses like Lucky Deal's a short favourite for that after running a big race in a 1.6 handicap earlier on the card that day. He's got a good chance, but I do think Messiah at a big price, 6-1 in this race, has got a good chance as well. And to round it off in the 4 o'clock at Ripon, Frankus, again, another David O'Mara horse. He's well handicapped based on his 2017 form. Formerly a good horse for Mark Johnston, good 3-year-old for Mark Johnston. Didn't really progress from 3 to 4, got subsequently sold to David O'Mara. Blinkers on for the first time again. Should hopefully see a better bit of form there. I think he's currently priced 17-2, I think, in this 7 furlong handicap, and I think he's got a good squeak as well. If you did enjoy that, guys, hit the thumbs up, comment, subscribe, like, share, all the good stuff, and we'll see you all tomorrow for the Saturday racing review. Bye-bye.